for the YouTube subscribers. Go subscribe already. Hit the fucking like button and subscribe before I knock your ass out, man. I ain't fucking with you, man.
UFC Vegas 66, Strickland versus Cannonier. The last card, guys. Last card of 2022. We have a few good fights on this card. Looking forward to this card. I'll be breaking it down. I'll be breaking down the main card like usual, guys. Leans, what to avoid, free picks. Definitely talk about the judges a little bit as well. Something needs to be done. Something definitely needs to be done. A little betting advice to end the year as well. Systemsportscapping.com, guys. To become a client today. Shout out to all my long-term clients. All the new clients. I did have a bunch of new clients before the holidays. Things been going good as of late. So Christmas is paid for you guys. I do receive some very kind emails and kind messages on Twitter, etc. And that's what I do it for, right? I do it to help you guys profit. I'm not asking for a lot on my subscriptions compared to the rest of the market. And I do think I'm better than most of the market out there. And the cost is a lot lower. So I just try to help you guys out at the same time, win along with me. And that's always the goal. System Capping, guys, on Instagram and Twitter. You can check all my client comments out there over the years. For the past, all the way, 3 years that I've been actually keeping the comments and then saving them, and all the emails all over there at System Capping on Instagram. Follow me over there. Sports betting news, free picks, winning tickets, free plays. Everything's over there. Just give me a follow on social media. That's where I'm the most active. Like the video as well, guys. Like this video. It helps me out a ton. Comment and subscribe. Let's do UFC 282 recap. And like I said at the top, the judges. It's never a good look on a sport when the first talk after the fights, first talk on Sunday, the podcast on Monday when they come out is about the judging. And this is time and time again. It's not one time. It's not two times. This is a frequent occurrence now. And when you watch fights, I get that some of them were close. Now, me personally, I thought the main event was worse than the Paddy fight. I don't think everyone agrees with me on that, but I thought the Paddy fight was close. I would probably lean Gordon to win the fight. It's just Gordon did nothing in the third round. And I think Paddy stole it at the end where he had the control time for 30 seconds. What do you give someone if you're a judge? I think they give absolutely nothing when you just control the guy on the fence. I don't think they score that at all. I think it absolutely means nothing. Because you're not doing anything. He wasn't doing anything when he had him controlled on the fence. Paddy was at least throwing some punches to the back of his head. But then the control time at the end, when he reversed it, could have stole the fight from him. I don't know. Close fight. Definitely not a robbery. I actually think the Ankalaev fight is worse. I thought that was worse, guys. Could have been a 10-8 round 5. He controlled the fight. I thought he won the last 3 rounds very easily. He dominated him on the ground. It's not like he's just holding him up against the cage. He's dominating him on the ground. He's not allowing him to get up for long periods of time. That should mean something. On the feet, yes, Jan had the leg kicks. That hurt his leg. But Ankalaev had some big shots. He was throwing his hand. His hands were better. Jan just had the kicks, in my opinion. And when it got down to the ground, Jan just couldn't get up. He barely could move, right? So I had Ankalaev winning that fight very easily. We had 2-fight parlay with Paddy Pimblett and Ankalaev. And then we went 3-1 on the card, technically. Should have been 4-0. And then we had Shabazian by KO plus money. That was a nice finish there, TKO or KO finish. And then we had Ponzinibbio to win the fight. He won the fight. Close, first 2 rounds, he didn't look great. He found the third round finish. And that's how you got to come out in third round when these fights aren't... You don't know who's winning the fight. Gordon thought he was winning 2-0. It's arguable because I thought Paddy won the second round. Right? I thought he definitely won the second round. Gordon probably stole the first round, and then Paddy may have stole the third round with the reversal. And Gordon's not doing anything. That control time, you're just holding him against the cage. And do I think that's right or wrong? I think it should matter for something. If you're holding a guy against the cage and he's not moving, at all, you're controlling the guy. It should matter for something. I don't think it's a big deal, but if there's nothing really else went on in the round, I think that matters. Even though Patty did have a late flurry at the end of the fight, I just don't think the judges counted at all the control time against the cage. That's what I'm seeing from all these fights where there's issues. It seems like anytime there's control time, they don't care. It looks like it's a boxing type of judges. Damage is first. And if you want to go damages first, again, Patty had the more damage. He damaged his eye was bad, Gordon. Right? So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know with the judges. And it does ruin the sport. It ruins from betting on it too. Now, sometimes it can go in your favor. Right? It can go in your favor. Sometimes you can have, like for instance, this card, it went in my favor. Patty won. Some people thought he didn't. I still think 50-50 type of judging. I don't think it was a robbery at all. I don't agree with that. I actually think the Ankalaev call was worse, in my opinion. I think it was worse. Just due to the ground control time. It's different than on the cage. So, yeah, I definitely think Ankalaev won that fight. Good news is some books will like void it if it's a split draw in a fight. So that parlay I got voided. So I was able to chip away on some profit there due to the other two fights that we won, going 3-1, but two of them were part of parlays. Update here on the UFC. You can see it here. Like I said, after we did have a bad one, November wasn't great, but now we're back on track. Back on track here. Things are looking good in the UFC. Hopefully all clients are betting it. Any Canadian clients that I have, Alberta's back. Ontario not as yet. Not yet in Ontario, but it should be back after the new year, in my opinion. I do expect it to be back. Hottest sports right now, guys. Hottest sports right now are NHL and the NBA. And World Cup the past week, but NHL and NBA has been the hottest, just overall, and even long term, right? Long term right now, guys, 57-28 in the NHL. That's 67%, 2021-2022 seasons. Long term, which matters, right? NBA's we're on a 5-0 run in NBA right now. Picking my spots. NBA and NHL only have a few plays a week. Pick my spots. If it hits my system plays and everything I look for, I bet it. I'm selective. That's how you have to beat a profit long term. Guys that bet volume every day, it's a lot of up and down. It's a lot of downs, and then you go up and you go down. I'm able to pick my spots and find my spots, and that's why I'm able to profit on all sports every year. Even if it's a little amount that I profit, or if it's a lot, having a really good year, either way I'm going to profit somehow in every sport that I handicap throughout the year. NBA 55-29, just a little below the NHL there at 66%. 2021-2020 going back. NFL chipping away in the NFL, guys. Profitable week last week, thanks to hitting both of our main plays, full unit plays. We had Eagles -7, that cash for us, and we had a rare 3-team money line parlay. I like 3 teams to really win last week. Parlayed it together, plus 122. Don't suggest to do that all the time. However, if I don't love spreads, I'll parlay a 2-team or 3 teams rare, but 2-team usually money line, get it at even money or plus money if I don't love the spread. And they usually do well. 12-7 on the year. Money line I started slow in the money line. I think we hit 5 in a row though, these money line parlays. So I look at that. When you're not having spreads, I haven't had the best spread season. Still profitable in the spread market. So I find other ways to win, right? Props, totals, and money line parlays in the NFL. At PGA is off until the new year, up and down to end the year in the prop market, but another profitable year in the PGA prop market. Outright market, I didn't handicap it as much. I picked my spots more in the outright market. We hit one in the last 3, and the last 3 outright markets, we went first, second, and third. So tough there, even though the last couple of events in the PGA were smaller. Keep in mind they were smaller fields, so it's easier to hit a second or third, but we're right there. Anytime in the outright market, you got to expect, to go on lulls. If you're betting outrights in golf, you're not going to win for a month or two in the outright market. That's just how it is. You're trying to hit, minimum plus 500. I have big ticket winners over the years. plus 40, plus 4,000, plus 2,500, plus just go so on and so on, right? So outright market's very difficult to hit. It's like hitting a very big parlay, in my opinion. World Cup. It's been a great end to the World Cup. You're profitable in the World Cup. We were just continuing to ride Argentina, guys. We're in our Argentina at the beginning of the tournament, plus 550 to win the whole thing, and we just continue to back them every game. So we've been profitable. Insurance has been paying off for us throughout the tournament, and that's why we were able to be profitable. People that were just attacking games, unless you bet all under, if you actually bet all underdogs, you probably did well. At least not late, though. Late in the tournament, you don't want to bet underdogs. The better team usually wins when they're set up. We got a 50-50 matchup. France versus Argentina. Perfect finals. Great finals. 50-50 matchup. I'm going to have to continue to ride Argentina since I took them at the beginning of the tournament. We took France to make the semifinals, plus 162. We hit that. Argentina to win to make the semifinals. Forget what that was. Plus 150, I think. So it's been profitable in all markets. Futures, single game betting. And we hope to end it strong here in the future market. Single game betting has been profitable already. I don't know if I'll have a single game bet. I probably will on the game. Probably even a draw, and our draw insurance, probably Argentina to win. There's a free play if you guys made it this far. Let's hear from my friend Meredith before we get into this card.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Shop around for the best prices, guys. Shop around. Have multiple books. That's what I do. Multiple books in Canada, US, overseas. Have multiple books. VPNs work as well. Have that. It really helps you profit more to get the best lines. Main event, Cannonier versus Strickland, minus 110 all around. Little surprise with the, I think there's some value here with Cannonier at minus 110. I thought Cannonier be favored a little more, at least minus 130, 150, but we're getting minus 110 here. You know, I have to look at his way due to this price. Strickland's just a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get from him. He's going to want to stand and bang. He's not going to try to wrestle, even though I think he would struggle to get Cannonier down to the ground. Does he have a wrestling advantage in this fight? I don't think it's a big one, if anything. But we know he's not going to do that. He's going to try to stand and bang, which I don't think is the right game plan against Cannonier. Right? Just Strickland's fight IQ. It's very hard to put money on the guy. If he's plus money, right? Again, if he was a plus money in this fight, like Cannonier minus 170, 180, you can get plus 140 on Strickland, I'll look his way. Maybe I'll look his way then. Because I do think it's going to be a close fight, especially if it goes to the decision. If this fight goes to the decision, Strickland we know has the volume. He has a volume advantage. Not the power. I do think Cannonier's going to throw the more meaningful shots, the bigger shots. Is he going to be able to knock out Strickland? Very tough. It's one of the harder fights I had to look at an outcome. Bouncing back and forth between decision or a finish. But if it's a war for 5 rounds, you can see a later finish in this fight. But, you know, I expect Cannonier to find a way here. Do think he's better on the feet, like the jab, like his movement. Strickland's just going to come want to bang like it's a bar fight, right? So Cannonier here for me. It could make a client bet. I haven't bet it as of yet, but because of the price, it's hard for me to stay off Cannonier here, guys. Like I said, if Cannonier was minus 150, 170, minus 200, I would be a little more worried. But I like this price at even money. I think Cannonier is just fairly better everywhere. More athletic. I think he's stronger. I think he's the better striker. Strickland, you know, tough son of a bitch. We know that. We know he has a volume advantage. So I think Strickland's only way to win this fight is by decision. And it's due to volume. I don't think he's going to have the bigger shots. I think Cannonier will win there. I don't think there's going to be much grappling in this fight. I think they kind of cancel each other out in the grappling, wrestling department, in my opinion, guys. And if just is standing on the feet, give me Cannonier here. Get at minus 110. It may make my client card this week, and it hasn't as of yet. I want to see weigh-ins, and I'll watch some interviews, etc. Press conference. No press conference, so it's not a pay-per-view. But I watch interviews and see how everyone is. And Cannonier bouncing back off Israel, right? He got that Israel Adesanya fight. That's a bad matchup for him. A guy that's a top-level striker. But Cannonier's improving his striking And Strickland's just totally opposite of Israel. Right? So I like Cannonier here, guys. And it may make my client card this weekend. Arman is back. Too scary and minus 180 versus Asmagulov plus 155. Fun one. I think this is a great fight, guys. I didn't see this one coming. You know, I like both guys. A bit higher on Arman. And this is a step up for Usmagulov, right? Arman has fought better competition, and when he tends to lose those fights when he steps up, right? We see him against Islam Makhachev, we see him against Gamrot, top high-level guys. In that Gamrot fight, he looked good early. This is a 3-round fight, which I like better for Arman. We see him fade in that Gamrot fight, right? So I do like Arman in 3-round fights a lot better, right? He's so very well-rounded. I think he's going to be able to get Usmagulov down to the ground. That's what I'm planning on here. I think on the feet, very close. If this is a 3-round fight on the feet, close. It's going to be a close fight. You're going to be sweating it to the judges' scorecards. But Arman mixes up the wrestling, is able to keep him down there. Usmagulov does have good takedown defense. Don't get me wrong. He can wrestle. I'm not saying he can't wrestle. I just think Arman's a bit better. A bit better in the wrestling department, grappling department. And I think on the feet, he's great on the feet. Likes to use the leg kicks. Usmagulov more... He's a well-rounded striker as well, but he likes to use that reach, jab. So, yeah, I like Arman off the loss. I really like Arman. I'm high on him. I think he's could be still top 5 in this division at one point. He's young. Remember, he's still young. But he has to get past a guy like this if he wants to be, you know, the bread and butter of this division or up there in the top 5 or 10. So I do expect him to bounce back here. The price isn't terrible, minus 180. If I bet it straight, would I love it? No. And decision... I would have to lean. I would have to lean this by decision. That's the only way I can look here. Should be able to get it around plus money, low plus money, but I do think it probably will be a decision. Alabazi minus 440 versus Costa plus 340. Costa making his debut. He's fought in the Dana White Contender Series. Not a 7-fight win streak over a very low-level Brazilian league. LUX Fight League. I don't even know. I don't even know what that is. It's a Brazilian fight league. Very low-level guy. So it's going to be the best guy he's fought. It's just the price is juicy at plus 340. This Costa guy looks like a tank. Does have good Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and he throws power. So he's one of those guys. But Ali Bazi, great on the ground, guys. Great on the ground. 2 submissions in his last 3 fights. You know, I get why. I don't get really why he's this high. I get it because Costa's taking this fight on short notice. So yes, I do think Alabazi should win this fight. But from a betting standpoint, you can't just bet. You can't bet this line, right? So if you're gonna bet it, you would put a very small unit on Costa for the hell of it. But I won't be betting this fight. I'm staying away. Sierra's plus 155, plus 150. Bruce Leroy's back versus Arosa minus 175. This could be a fun one. Fight of the night candidate. Both guys like to strike and bang. Bruce Leroy was on a nice streak, but then ran into Yusuf, and the roll stopped there. Arosa also, man. Arosa's running hot right now with a big win over Hakeem Dawodu. That's a big win, 3 in a row. Also throwing a Jourdain win there by sub. Rosa's found something here, in my opinion. 2 big wins in his last 3. This just can be unpredictable at times, and so can Bruce Leroy, right? Both these fighters are kind of unpredictable. So it is not the safest bet. But if Arosa talks a big game, if he thinks he can move up in the top 10 in his division one day, which he did mention, he has to beat a journeyman like this. He has to beat him. Tough journeyman, a guy that's hard to get past. His grappling's very good, very wiry, hard to fight, uses his reach. But I think Arosa also does have that reach as well, right? And I think he'll be able to stand with him. I think anywhere this fight goes, Arosa can hang. So I like Arosa here. I think he continues this fighting streak here. Minus 175 is not terrible. Not terrible. Tough to call. Maybe lean a finish if you can get it at a high plus money. But this fight could go to the decision as well. But yeah, I like this Arosa on the money line if I had to bet this fight. Dober minus 155 versus Bobby Green. This is a fun one, guys. Plus 130 on the green side. Another fun one here. 2 guys who fell to Islam. Islam's grappling, right? Dober lasted a little longer. We saw Green out there in the first round. It just was not fair for Green when he got down to the ground. We know Green, right? Likes to box. Good boxer. Good takedown defense against decent guys. I think Dober actually could wrestle here. Dober's never really known for a wrestler. He's a banger. Great kicks. Great kickboxer. It'll be interesting to see if there is some grappling in this fight. But I do think this is going to be a stand and bang war. Dober, hell of a chin, can take a shot. Green not really known for his power. He's a volume guy, right? If Green wins this fight, it's going to be by decision. Dober wins this fight, it's going to be because he landed the bigger shots, in my opinion. I'm going to have to lean Dober here. I know Green had some issues with USADA, and I don't know how much he's training. He doesn't put out a lot on his Instagram regarding training and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to lean Dober here. Don't love the price. Probably won't make my betting card, but for video purposes, I'll lean Dober. First fight to open up the main card here, Brundage, plus 230 versus Ola Chasechek, minus 280. I don't know, this line's a little high, but I get it. You know, Ola Chasechek, the Polish guy's going to be a lot bigger. Guy's coming down from 205 to 185 for this fight. I got to watch the weigh-ins on this fight. This is a fight I probably don't see going all 3 rounds. I can see a finish, and if there is a finish, it'll probably be from the Polish guy. I think Brundage may have a wrestling advantage here. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to bring that down, but bring him down to the ground. He's going to be the bigger guy in there, right? So that's going to be interesting to see. Brundage 2-fight win streak here. A couple nice wins. One nice win over Gore. Gore had some hype. But Cody's path here, just to me, is he's going to be able to out-wrestle and grapple. On the feet, it's going to be dangerous against the Polish guy. He can hurt him on the feet. He does have some power, especially coming down the division. Is the power going to carry over after the weight cut? Time will tell, right? You have to look at the weight cut. You're going to have to see how he looks. It's not a fight I want to be involved, especially at minus 280. You just can't get involved with that. So I'm just going to stay away. If you have to bet this fight, I'm going to take Brundage because of the plus money, but stay away from this one, guys. It's the one I tell you guys on the card. I always have 1 or 2 I stay away from. This will make that. All right, guys, if you want this full card, systemsportscapping.com. I'll have a fairly large client card for this weekend to end the year, right? End the year on a high note, then end the year with a winning card. NFL Week 15 video out tomorrow. Look out for that. And like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy this fight card. And if you just watch my UFC videos, I'll see you next year.